Hey everyone, Clay from Brooklyn Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here with some more film breakdown. Just want to look at some more plays because it's that time in the offseason, post combine, pre-draft, when we don't have a whole lot to talk about. We've signed some people in free agency, which we're pretty excited about. But now it's a good time to look back on some things that happened this year that may kind of give us some sense of why we might make certain decisions in the draft. And I'm going to start with something that I look at as an argument for why we might want to draft Mason Graham. And the reason I think we might want to draft Mason Graham is because when Dexter is one-on-one, he's a beast. He's like unblockable one-on-one. He gets double teamed as much or more than anyone in the league. And if we had a Mason Graham on the inside, especially if we went with three interior defensive linemen, like if we kept Elijah Chapman or someone else on the line also, and we had three of them, but Dexter Lawrence and Mason Graham, he'd see a whole lot fewer double teams. Let's just take a look at what happens when he doesn't get double teamed. I feel bad for this poor right guard, but Dexter just tosses him to the side and makes the play. It's like, yeah, I got this. You can't block me. And you know what? I ain't mad at you, Dexter. That's what we want. We want to put Dexter in a position where he can be singled more often. He's doubled a lot and tripled sometimes. But if he can be singled a little bit more often, that's the kind of thing that we can see a little bit more consistently. I mean, he does it a fair amount of times, even when he's doubled. But if we can get him singled, oh my goodness, that man is a beast. So that is just a quick look at why I might strongly consider trading down. If you watch one of our earlier episodes, I was talking about a way that we might be able to trade up. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm not feeling well today. Trade up to get Mason Graham. But in any event, that is why. So here's another couple of plays that Tyler Nubin is involved in many of these. And again, I don't want to pick on the man. He's a rookie. I get it. But there's just a lot of plays that are just head scratchers. I just don't understand, what he was thinking and how we arrived at, not just Tyler Nubin, but frequently Tyler Nubin is involved in these plays that I don't understand, and or Tay Banks. So I'm going to stop this one right here. They have one, two, this is against Pittsburgh, three receivers in the pattern. And that's it right now. I mean, this guy may be coming out soon, but right now there's three receivers in the pattern. Why are you so far back? Who are you covering, Tay Banks? Like, I see you pointing, right? Tay Banks is up there pointing like, oh, get him, get him. Why don't you get him? Right? When Tay Banks sees this receiver cut in, and there's no one there with him, why not go with him instead of covering grass? There's clearly no one else coming into your zone, right? I get it, you're in a zone, but there's no other receiver out here. There's nobody for you to cover. So why not cover him? Because right now he's wide open. Now, this is Russell Wilson, who we just signed, and it's a little annoying to me that Russell didn't see him incomplete this pass. This winds up being an incomplete pass. But I just don't get what Tay Banks is doing. And here's Tyler Nubin. Well, who are you covering, Tyler? I mean, I guess Najee Harris right here is your responsibility. Fine. But right now, Najee Harris is chip blocking. So at the very least, let's look around and see what else you might be able to do that's useful. So thank goodness Okereke eventually turned around and notices, hey, there's someone standing, 15 yards downfield with a 20-yard cushion all around him for some reason, right? This is Nick McLeod before we let him go. He's in phase with this receiver. This is Drew Phillips. He's got this receiver locked down. I believe this is Jason Pinnock. I'm not quite sure why he's still, 30 yards away from the play, from the line of scrimmage, and 10 yards behind the deepest receiver when the deepest receiver isn't even behind the second deepest defensive back. In other words, we don't need you over the top by 10 yards. Come up a little bit. Even if he threw it to this guy, you're not in position to break that pass up from way back here. And again, you are doing absolutely nothing. You are doing nothing. And let's see what happens. Russell misses this throw, right? Look at the throw. He bounces it. He skips it to him. Thank goodness. Because if he had hit this man, especially if he had hit him a little earlier, that would have been a very big play. So not a big fan of And I don't know, again, is this scheme? Is this on Shane Bowen? But I don't think so. I mean, I've, seen enough football and played a little bit of football in Pop Warner, and it didn't occur to me to just cover grass and not cover receivers who are wide open. This man is wide open. I would rather you cover him than cover grass. I'd rather you cover him than cover grass. So that's one example of play that I think Tay Banks and Tyler Nubin weren't, how do I want to put this? Weren't in phase with the rest of the team. So I wish that we could have done a little bit better on that play. Okay, here's another play that I want to take a look at. Again, I'm just going to take a quick look at a few plays and let's see if we can figure out why these decisions were made and why people are doing what they're doing. Okay. So this is a run, right? A quick toss, and look where Tyler Nubin is. Again, I think he plays too deep anyway, but he is pretty far back. And let's see what happens when he comes up to make the tackle. Oh, he doesn't make the tackle. Whiffs entirely. And again, fortunately, his teammates are there because he didn't make the tackle at all. So again, why is he that far back? I don't know. That's probably on Bowen. He's still backpedaling. As you saw, he was in the screen and he started backpedaling on a quick toss. So he doesn't seem to be moving up very fast. He's still not in the screen, still not in the screen, still not in. There he is. And then he comes up to try to make this tackle and whiffs. You notice who's not in this play? Number 97, Dexter Lawrence. When Dexter Lawrence wasn't in on the field, team just said, oh, Dexy's out, run the ball. And did that all year long with great success. And I feel like again, another argument for having Mason Graham is that Dexter can get a little bit more rest and we can, maybe just leave Mason out there a few plays, but Dexter and Mason would be beasts. Let's take another look at another play. Okay. What's going on here? Let's see what Tyler Nubin does. Now, in fairness, he's probably making a run fit here, right? It was a play action pass. So he faked the ball to Najee Harris, and he runs up and quickly realizes, oh, this is a pass. So he turns his back and just runs. I don't know, maybe that's what he's taught to do, but there's Najee Harris. He's valuable. I mean, why run away from him? Now, if you want to turn your head real quick and see where people are, fine. And he does that. But then he starts running. You think he's catching this guy? He's 12 yards behind him, and this guy's in full stride. You think he's catching this guy? Is he actually going to make any difference if this is a throw to this man? And there's no one else out here. So right now, you running up here does nothing, right? Unless this receiver slams on the brakes and cuts back and is running a comeback pattern. And even if he is, we've got someone right next to him. You're doing nothing by running away. But you know what you could have been doing? You could have been stopping this pass we just completed to Najee Harris. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the defense. So he's running a deep post, and Nick McLeod's with him. This ball has already been caught. This is a completed pass. Here's Jason Pinnock still sprinting away from the play, thinking he's doubling, providing safety help over the top on this receiver. But the pass has already been caught. You're in good phase. I'm not exactly sure what Drew Phillips is doing either. Like, I think he would have been better off up here on this tight end. But there's nothing but grass out here, no receivers. So I'm not quite sure why he was running where he was running. But at least now he starts coming towards the play, not quickly, but does start coming towards the play. But look at Pinnock and Banks. What are Pinnock and Banks doing? They're still running away from the play. We're about to tackle this man. He's caught the ball at the 40. He turns around. You're still running away from the play. You're still running away from the play. Najee Harris is about to be tackled by Bobby Okereke. You're still running away from the play. You're still running away from the play. 30 yards from the play and running away from the play. One of two things is happening. Either you haven't found the ball yet, like you literally don't know that the ball has been completed, which, as I look at his body language, that seems unlikely to me. He does seem to have looked back. or you just don't care. Like, all right, somebody else will tackle him. Because now they're slowing down. They're not like sprinting anymore. I mean, they're leaving the screen now, but you can see that they don't think the ball's still coming. They just have decided, I'm not going to engage in this play. If Najee Harris breaks that tackle, I guess he's going to get another 20 or 30 yards because I'm not coming up to help out. I don't understand. What is going on in these defensive backs' minds when they're covering grass instead of people and watching receivers who are not going to get the ball anymore instead of moving up on the ones that might get the ball? Okay. Again, not to beat a dead horse, not to keep picking on Nubin, but this was a play that I also didn't understand. It was a very subtle, you gotta really be paying attention. It's a very subtle thing. This is Tyler Nubin here. He is gonna go for a fake that I just don't understand how you can go for that fake at the goal line. Watch this. Watch how he shifts his weight up. See how he loses his balance and lets this man catch this ball in front of him in the end zone, 5 yards deep in the end zone, but in the end zone. Where did he think that guy was going? There's only 10 yards of end zone. So if the man broke the ball, the pattern and went upfield, so what? He's going to run out of the end zone. Let's watch this. Right about here, that man has Tyler Nubin shook, right? That little jab step right there, that one right there, Tyler broke upfield instead of staying on the goal line, right? If he had run across on the goal line, this receiver is not open. This is George Pickens. He's not open. But because you went for the fake and are now 6 or 8 yards deep in the end zone, he's got plenty of cushion in the end zone. Now, why Nick McLeod didn't drop back is beyond me. I mean, there's 2 people here, and Nick seems to see this receiver wide open. Why you aren't deeper, I don't understand. So it's not all on Tyler Nubin. And he did lose his balance, but the fact is he bit on a fake that I just don't understand why you would bite on that fake, because where can he go if he turns it upfield? Let him run a 9. Let him run a go route from the goal line. Where's he going? But again, not to pick on Tyler Nubin, but I guess what I'm saying is all these people telling me what a great season he had and what a great prospect he is, I think are overselling it. I don't see that. I see a guy who, has got potential. He probably will get better in year 2. And if our overall defense is better, maybe that, masks some of his mistakes. If there's, we got Paulson Adebo now, we got Javon Holland now, we've got better players around him. So maybe he has fewer responsibilities and does a better job. But no, he's not going to the Pro Bowl. Yeah, he made a lot of tackles, but he also missed a lot of tackles. And a lot of the tackles he made, again, were way downfield. If it's 3rd and 7 and you make a tackle 8 yards downfield, they have a first down. I don't think of that as a good play. If it's 1st and 10 and you made a tackle 7 yards downfield instead of 4, and now it's 2nd and 3 instead of 2nd and 6, again, I don't see that as a good play. Okay, I'd rather you make a tackle than miss the tackle, but I'd rather you make the tackle sooner. Get upfield a little sooner. Maybe don't be so far downfield, and let's try to get a little bit better play out of our safeties. Anyway, that's what I think. What do you think? Again, I don't want to pick on Tyler Nubin. I do want to pick on Tay Banks. I think Tay Banks really has a lot of flaws in the run game, especially. And I don't want to pick on Mike McFadden, but I do think that, like I said before, if we could get a 2nd round pick for 2 or 3 of them, and that 2nd round pick becomes someone who is a very good player, I'll take 1 very good over 2 or 3 okays. Anyway, that's what I think. Tell me what you think. Drop us a comment, share, like, subscribe. Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas, all about Big Blue, and I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.